Shade Tree Toolman here, and it's socket time. Yes, Gray Pneumatic. What you are looking at is two socket sets from Gray Pneumatic. These are both half-inch drive 6-point impact socket sets. The one on the right is the model number GP1430MRD. That's GP1430MRD. Goes from 10 millimeter on up to 24 millimeter. It does skip 23 millimeter, but that's the only size it skipped. It's currently running for $168.09 on Amazon.com, and that's model number GP1328RD, model number 1328RD, and that's a set that goes from 7/16 of an inch on up to 1 1/4 inches, both deep and shallow. The only size that it skips, if you even would consider this a skip size, is 1 3/16. I don't really know how common a 1 3/16 is. It goes from 1 1/8 and jumps up to 1 1/4. That is currently running for on Amazon.com $164.22. One thing to keep in mind with buying these on Amazon and you have a warranty issue, Gray Pneumatic will not honor warranties for items that are bought from Amazon.com. I realize that. I'm willing to take that risk. So I'm going to give you a measurement on these cases here. A lot of you guys are going to take these out of the case and put them in your toolbox or rolling cart if you're a mechanic and you like Gray Pneumatic items. These cases, one thing I noticed about these two sets is the cases are literally the same size, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I have both the metric and SAE sets that are 3/8 drive, and those two cases are actually different sizes, but I just noticed these measure to be about the same size. So on this one, this is measuring in terms of width approximately 17, just shy of 18 inches. The metric set is also just shy of 18 inches. In terms of like the width, these are measuring about 10 3/4, just shy of 11 inches. Same thing, 10 3/4, just shy of 11 inches. And about just shy of 2.5 inches in height. But I did notice with these half-inch sets that the cases are about the same size, but with the two 3/8 drive sets that I have, the cases were different sizes. Not that that even matters, but I'm gonna open them up and show you the sockets. I'm going to show you the metric set first. One thing that these half-inch drive sets come with, both the metric and SAE sets come with a half-inch swivel adapter. They do offer swivel sockets if you're at all interested or looking for swivel sockets. Now, I don't really have any experience with their swivel sockets. I can't give a review, good or bad, on their swivel sockets, but you do get a half-inch swivel adapter, and I believe this is, oh, I forget what size extension this was. It was, that's a 3-inch extension. So in both the metric as well as the SAE, as you can see here, they both come with this swivel attachment adapter, universal joint, I guess you would call it, swivel adapter, and this 3 inch adapter. And so it is nice that they are including that. In the 3/8 drive sets that I have videos on, they don't give you no adapters. But then again, if they did give you adapter, the cases would have to be bigger. And so, like I mentioned earlier, on the metric size, they're giving you both deeps and shallows, 10 millimeter, all the way up to 24 millimeter. And as you can see here, 22 millimeter, it does get 23 millimeter. On the SAE side of things, starts out at 7/16 of an inch, and it goes 16/16 of an inch increments, half inch, 9/16, all the way up to 1.25 inches. It goes from 1.125, skips 1 3/16. If you even call it a skip, that's the only size that SAE skips, is the 1 3/16. But you are getting an inch, 1.125, 1 1/16, 1.25 inches. I'm going to take the biggest socket from both sets and just give you an approximate height measurement of the socket. And so as you can see here, the deeps are approximately 3.5 inches long. Take the shallows here. The overall length, depth, you might even say, of the shallows are approximately 1 3/4, right around there. Now, one thing that some people talk about is on these, the bottom of the socket, the part where it latches onto the square drive of your impact, these are flat. Some people don't like that. Some people like the, forget what it's called, broaching or indentation, where they cut away a little bit of the material so that it's not completely flat when you attach it onto your square drive. But these Gray Pneumatic did not do that on these, so the bottom of the socket is flat. And there's what the inside looks like on the shallows. And again, here are the inside of the deeps. In terms of markings on both of these, they have like a silver, like paint on them, like a big marking here, 24 millimeters. They have their logo and another 24 millimeter and some other information. Now, one thing to keep in mind, Gray Pneumatic sockets are made in Taiwan. I think of them as a middle-of-the-road brand. I have heard good things about Gray Pneumatic. The few times that I have used Gray Pneumatic impact sockets, I honestly had no complaints to them. Have yet to break a socket. But then again, I'm not working in a trade where I'm using these every day. But when I do use them, they seem to hold up well and haven't had no issue with them. Also on the socket, I forget where I saw that, but they do have an etched in marking that's a little difficult to see if you're someone like me that doesn't have the greatest vision. But there is a size marking on these in like 3 different locations because they have, of course, their painted logo with the size, where it's made, Taiwan, chrome moly steel, the big 24 millimeter marking, and then that little etched in marking. Again, 1.25 inch, their logo, the bigger 1.25 inch painted marking, and thought these, yes, these right there, the etched in marking. So the size is marked in 3 spots on these. For the money, I feel like I'm getting a pretty decent socket for the money, but there are comparable brands on Amazon like Sunex that might give you, depending on the price, a little more bang for the buck. But if you're at all interested, I would recommend Gray Pneumatic, especially if you're someone that doesn't use sockets every day and wants something that's going to be pretty decent, hold up well, but something that maybe you don't want to spend a fortune on. Once again, the sizes, just to go over them, the SAE goes from 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, 7/8, 15/16, 1 inch, 1 1/16, 1 1/8, skips, does not include 1 3/16, and then goes to 1 1/4 on the metric size. Starts at 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 13 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 millimeter, 22 millimeter. It does skip 23 millimeter, does include 24 millimeter, and the 1/2 inch sets include both a 1/2 inch universal joint, swivel adapter, and a 3-inch extension. And so I'm very satisfied with these. Now, I know if one breaks, I'm just going to have to buy another socket. I was willing to take that risk. Just convenient to be able to buy these on Amazon.